Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Paving the Way. Guys, if you are watching this on Facebook or LinkedIn or anything like that, or YouTube, any of that stuff, you can see that we are going a little bit different today. We are out here coming to you from the Pave conference in San Antonio, Texas, and we are going to be putting a little twist on today's podcast. Let's go. All right, so I have Mr. Marvin Joles with Blacktop Banner and Wiscoat. He's still affiliated with that, right?
Barely.
Yeah, okay. All right. So what I want to know and what I want everybody else to know is who are you, what do you do, and how did we meet?
Oh, man. Marvin Joles, of course. A thinker. I would just say I'm a thinker overall. And I connect people really well. I help them out with thoughts and processes and help them get to their goals by just having conversations, man. What was the last part of the question?
How do we meet?
Oh, dude. During a conversation where you wouldn't shut up. That was pretty much it. We met at MPE a long time ago. Met online a little bit first and then met in person. And I think we both were in the same boat kind of at the same time and met at a conference. And here we are at another conference. And we've had the pleasure of being able to go all around the world together, which is a huge blessing for me, for sure.
And we're just getting started.
Just getting started.
And like you said, so I've already told everybody we are at the Pavex conference here in San Antonio.
Yep.
First one that they've ever had.
Yep.
We're on the last day here.
Yep.
What do you think of it so far?
Oh, it went really, really good. I think I'm that guy that really, really over-prepares and overthinks. Like I said, I'm a thinker. So I always was like, man, I'm going to miss something. It's not going to click well. But everything seemed to flow really, really smooth. I think this is what we've been wanting, especially you and I.
Yeah.
Since we talked about conferences, this is what we've wanted. It was to feel like this, look like this, and have the things that it has. I'm optimistic about this one in the future, too.
Awesome. I agree. So the last thing I want to know, if we get the opportunity to do a longer podcast together, what would you want to talk about with me and why?
I would want to talk about the process of Daniel Wright, finding out who Daniel Wright really is.
You heard it, guys. That one's going to get deep. Going to get real, real deep. So, well, cool, buddy. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it, man.
We'll catch up, all right? All right, guys. So this one, I did not find him at the show this week. All right. In fact, I brought him to the show, but I wanted to touch base with Ben Linares. If you guys follow our social, you've probably seen him on a couple of videos. He had a birthday shout out the other week, but we brought him down to his first Pavex event, which is obviously it's the first Pavex ever, but his first real trade show with the company, things like that. So Ben, I guess tell everybody a little bit about who you are, where you came from, and then what do you think so far of the show?
So my name is Ben Linares. Obviously, as Daniel stated, I am new into not only Proline and sales, but the industry altogether, the whole asphalt pavement industry. I was in law enforcement at the state level prior to this, and had been doing that for approximately 7 years. So this is a total change and different pace of life, but that's kind of what that's how I'm here.
Yeah.
So it's great.
Awesome. So what has been one of your favorite things about this week so far? We've been down here for 4 days or so. What's one of your big takeaways that you would say so far? You've taken a lot of classes, gotten to see a lot of stuff at the booths, talked to a lot of people, network. What was one of your biggest takeaways that you would share with everybody?
I think you just stole one of the words, network, and like building relationships. That's been phenomenal. Like you feel like you know some of these guys because they do their social media so well and they push out so much good material, and you're like, oh, I know that guy, whether it's from the pavement group or just various Blacktop Banner, whoever it is, like you're like, oh, I know who those are. And then to build those relationships, meet these guys, and they're the same people. Like these are real people, genuine people. So not only to build it, but also to gain some good knowledge, whether it's from the Godfather with Stephen Braney, or we just had a class with Humphrey. That was great. I can't think of his first name.
Brad
Humphrey.
Yeah.
Great class there as well. Dropping a lot of facts. We had another good one this morning. So the classes have been really good, whether it's a reminder of basic stuff that Proline's already implemented through past I guess, knowledge that they've absorbed, and you guys are already pushing that out. So a good reminder, or just really good knowledge to take back and start figuring ways to implement that and to create more growth.
Awesome. I like it. Sounds like it was a worthwhile investment to bring them along, I'd say. So the last thing I got to ask you, if we were to do a one-on-one podcast, longer form than just this here, what topic would you want to discuss with me and why?
I would say Daniel writes. I know you like talking about yourself. Just kidding. We're going to make this about Daniel because he's not a fan of that. So Daniel writes drive. What built Daniel to be who Daniel is? Why does Daniel not only want a franchise? Why does he want to impact other people's lives? Why did he want to get into this industry? So I would be curious to hear about those things from you. And then we've kind of touched it before, but then what's your drive going forward looking like? What's the future for you, and how are you going to maintain that? That'd be interesting.
Guys, I think that would be a pretty fun podcast to do. So might be coming in the near future. Guys, so I am here with the total boss, a.k.a. Kelsey, a.k.a. my wife, a.k.a. pretty awesome lady. But that's enough of AKAs. What we are doing, guys, so you have been to no trade shows.
No trade shows.
Ever before.
Never.
So being your first one, what do you think of this one here at Pave so far?
Cool. There's a lot of equipment, a lot of people to talk to, a lot of people I've never met before, I've heard about. So it's pretty neat to put a name to a face. So I'm excited about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what is something that you learned from this show so far? I know you took a couple of classes. A lot of the stuff, like we talked about, we kind of already do some of the things that we take the classes on. But whether it was the classes or the conversations you had with people, what is something that you've learned from the show this week?
Honestly, talking to Ezra. He's all about the equipment, and he's all excited about that. So learning the new things that we can do at the office based on the equipment that he found here is pretty cool. So it's a different aspect besides just office and administration. You get to see more of the ops side and what other things we can do to help them.
Awesome. So the last question is, we've already done a couple podcasts together.
Yes.
But we're probably going to do another one.
Yeah.
Maybe more. Next podcast we do,
Okay.
What is something that comes to mind that you would want to dive into on a deeper conversation with me?
Oh, you always like those deep conversations. I'm not good with that. I like the lightheartedness and the fun, but I don't know. I'm going to have to ponder on that one.
No pondering allowed.
There's
What's the
lots
first
of
thing that comes to
pondering.
mind that you'd want to talk about with me that everyone else might want to know about?
Dogs.
Dogs. All right, guys. Well, we will tell you all about the history of our fur babies next time. I am here with Mr. Randy Kaufman, a.k.a. Rodney, and now apparently Andy, but real name Randy. So that's what we're going with today. So, Mr. Randy, this is your first trade show that you've come to with us, right? Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about your experience so far and what you think.
Well, I really enjoy being around, and for someone who's never been in this industry, or even, I was capturing sports before this, so it's nice to see just the networking aspect of it. The content I've been shooting this week has just been really fun to capture and see how you, Kelsey, everyone on the team has interacted with the TCS group that's here, or just any other friends in the industry. But overall, just like our TCS retreat in November and now coming here, I've just I'm completely bought in on the vision that the direction that we're heading as a company.
Heck yeah, I like to hear that. So appreciate that feedback. Now, I should have asked this first. What do you do with our company?
Well, I am the media wizard, video master, I guess you could call me. But yeah, I just shoot all the content and post it up to the Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, everything. Every platform that we can get our name out there, we're pushing that. So that is my role.
Awesome. I like it. And you do a great job at it.
Thank you.
So, the next question, like I've asked everyone else, is even though you're normally the one behind the camera, right? So this is a little uncomfortable for you. I know. It's okay. You're doing good. If we do a podcast together, and we get to have like a longer conversation about something. You've worked with us now for 6-8 months or so, probably about 6 months-ish, I think.
Yeah.
So from what you've learned about me, the company, the industry, whatever it is, like if you got to be on a podcast with me, what would we want to talk about and why?
I would more so want to talk about the subject of, I guess, your journey into the pavement industry. I know I have friends who were firemen before, and I want to know, like, ultimately, I know your switch from being in the fire service to joining the pavement industry wasn't an easy decision, but I would like to kind of dive into more of, like, the intricate reasons why. And kind of know, like, what, kind of like how Ben said for his segment, is like what drives Daniel to be so motivating and wanting to help people in business and develop people instead of just building it all for himself and wanting to share the wealth with everyone else.
I think we can talk about that.
Yeah.
So, cool. Sounds good. I am here with Miss Miranda Rowe. I've known her for a little while now, but if you could just let folks know who you are, kind of what you do, and how we met.
Oh, this is a loaded question. Okay.
It's just a snippet. Though. Just a snippet.
I'm a mom. No, I'm a very proud mom of one, but I work as the director of marketing for the Pavement Group. Met Daniel almost 4 years ago. Gosh, we're getting old. Met Daniel through a mutual friend and came to his rescue of sorts as he was trying to figure things out on the World Wide Web. There we go.
Yeah.
I've talked way too much for the past 3 days, and I haven't had enough Celsius yet. Okay. And
just a little plug for Celsius.
Right. Started out helping him with a social media presence. From there, ended up connecting with a digital agency that came right at the onset of COVID and all things digital. And so worked with Daniel on his account with that agency and ended up meeting Brian Hess with the Pavement Group through that connection, and continued to consult, I guess is probably the better word. I don't like saying it because it's really just, helping a friend out with, all things digital marketing and anything in between, to be honest. So it's been a fun ride.
That may be the briefest recap I've ever heard you give on any answer.
I've talked a lot.
So we caught you at the right time for this segment of a show.
I know, and I haven't had my Celsius yet, so.
Fair enough. So, all right, next question.
Okay.
You've come to a handful of trade shows in the industry, right?
Yes.
So this is the first Pavex trade show that
Yes,
you've come to down here in San Antonio.
Great.
What do you think of it?
Fantastic job. Shout out to Amy and Jessica, their whole team. There's several that I'm going to forget their names, but awesome work behind the scenes. Communication has been phenomenal. Just the communication before the show, communication during the show. The education sessions, from what I have heard, have been phenomenal. Lots of options. I love variety. Diversify your strategy. If you haven't heard that, now you have. And it's been really cool to see the vendors also have some variety. I think there's something here for everyone that's in the industry, just starting out in the industry, or they're veterans and they're just, phenomenal at what they do already, but they get to come here, network with some young bucks. I think, there's always something to learn. If you're not learning, you're not living, you're dying. So it's good. This has been a really great show. Live demos, I almost forgot, but that was phenomenal. Yep. You like those?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you see
yeah,
the
those were awesome. Yeah, we did catch some of those.
Are you gonna get a new one?
We're always getting new stuff. Yeah.
I wish they would have let me try that. I can't even walk a straight line. I felt like though if I had some wheels under me, I could draw one.
We draw lines now, guys. In case you didn't know, we draw them.
It came to me as soon as you said it. I was like, that's not what you call it. Okay. Clearly, I don't do that.
Oh, my gosh. All right. So, last question.
Yeah.
Last question I got here.
All right.
If we were to do, that's fine. If we were to do a one-on-one podcast, a longer length one together, what would you want to talk about with me and why?
Oh.
Now the backstory of this, guys, Miranda helps really, is a lot of the creative behind what we do from our social media stuff. She works with Randy, who you guys have met. So she's a lot of the truly trying to think of those ideas. I know she said, use the word consultant. It's more like she said, helping a friend out. But she is one who really tries to push and pull things out of me. So I think you guys would be in for a massive treat, depending on what topic it is. But what would you want to talk about with me and why? We've had almost 4 years together, so you got a lot of things.
So many things.
We could do multiple.
What scares Daniel the most about, the future of Proline? What's he most proud of? And there's so many things now. I don't know. I was trying to keep it just to 3. So I think the other, why? Yeah.
All right.
Why?
We got a lot of
talked enough about.
We got a lot of people who want to know about the why. That's a frequent flyer. So, well, guys, we'll make it happen. All right, guys. So I am here with Mr. Brian Hess himself, with the Paving Group. So, Brian, you and I have known each other for a handful of years now.
Seems like 40.
Seems like 40. Yeah. That means the depth of the relationship we have
It's really
is that
good.
strong.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So, tell everybody a little bit about just kind of who you are, what you do, and kind of how we met.
Yeah, so CEO and president of the Pavement Group, founder of Top Contractor School. Oh man, I'm thinking about how did we meet the first time? Was it it was probably at a show, right?
Probably a show, yeah.
Yeah, one of these
Show
shows.
and GCS.
And then Daniel's been a member and supporter of Top Contractor School since pretty much day one. And
2019, yeah.
Yeah, it's been awesome, man, to watch the journeys of both of our companies flourishing and becoming more well known, having more friends at things like this, and it's been an awesome journey, man.
Yep. So you've been in the industry for quite a while, right? And you've been to a lot of these shows, a lot of these trade shows. So what do you think about the first PaveX after you've been here this week?
Man, I said this earlier. I always judge anything. It's kind of like walking into a restaurant. Walking into one of these shows, I always judge restaurants by the energy. How good's the meal going to be based on when you walk in? How does it feel? I've been to lots of these shows, man, that felt like funeral homes, where, there's not a lot of energy, not a lot of action. This one was not that. And so shout out to Jessica and Amy for bringing the energy and really setting this thing up, bringing the right vendors, I think, for, people in our position. I thought it was great, man. I think,
awesome.
There's always something you can do better, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure they'll adjust based on feedback from people, but I thought the demos were awesome. I thought the trade show floor was great. I've heard very good things about the education. So overall, I give them an A+.
Awesome.
For the first PaveX.
I agree with you, man. It was good. I'm glad we got to bring our team down and get to hang out with you guys a lot. So last question I got for you, and I'll let you go because I know you're a busy guy. You and I do a podcast, a more in-depth one. Whether it's in person or virtual, we'll figure that out. What is one of the main topics you would want to discuss with me and why?
I think I'd want to discuss the process of the customer journey, because I feel like you and I are kind of experts in different areas of that. We would complement each other well. So to talk about kind of the front end sales, acquisition, marketing, stuff like that's kind of what I love the most.
Yeah, that's your realm.
And then the processes and systems and everything that kind of takes that customer creation to the finish line, which is definitely your expertise. I think that'd be a great topic.
We can make it happen.
All right, let's do it.
Cool. All right, guys. So as you got to listen or see or watch or however you consume this information today, we've got a handful of friends as well as the total boss in on this. A lot of great value at these shows. Not only is it that you get to see the equipment, you get to take classes and educational things, but you get to network. And I cannot stress more and more how important it is to continue building your network and continue building the relationships within that network, because that's where all the value comes from. So as you guys got to hear today, we have 5 different people with 5 different topics that we want to discuss. So we're going to work on getting into that stuff to bring you guys more value, more content. Guys, as always, let me know if you need anything. Drop some comments in here, some likes, shares, subscribes, all that fun stuff. I'm counting on you, and we'll see you next time.